hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000 plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, helping individuals. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100 plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like Generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100 plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500 plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100 plus authorized training partners and 50 plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000 plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100 plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like Generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100 plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500 plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100 plus authorized training partners and 50 plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000 plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are joining from. We'll be starting a session now. Please allow me to share my screen. And here we go. I hope my screen is visible to you all. And thank you so much for joining today's session. A warm welcome to you at Global Skill Development Council Studio, AI and Delivery Solving Real Project Management Challenges with Generative AI. With the theme that is Generative AI is transforming delivery project management by automating tasks, improving planning, and solving real execution challenges. My name is Preetham. I'll be here as a moderator to let me know if you have any concern during the session. Feel free to reach out to me over the chat box, or you can directly write message to me in the direct message, and I'll be taking care of it. So as you all know that we have this amazing panel of experts aligned for this entire webinar series, which was scheduled from 10th November 2025 with the time slot that is 6:30 a.m. Central, 8:30 p.m. Singapore time, and 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So do join us for the remaining sessions as well. And before I could hand over the session to our speaker today, would love to quickly introduce about the GSTC, our hosting organization. We known as Global Skill Development Council. We are vendor agnostic, vendor neutral, and we are globally recognized certification body. We are accredited by ABICB, and we do have 100 plus certification portfolio with us. We have certified more than 250,000 professionals worldwide. We have 500 SMEs. Those are subject matter experts, industry experts. They work with us closely to design our deliverables. We are associated with 1,000 multinational corporates and 500 Fortune companies and 50 plus universities across the globe. A very proud thing to inform you all that we do have 100 plus authorized training partner across the globe. We have partner in Asia, Africa, Canada, America, and many other countries. So I would love to thank you those who have joined us to our training partner channel. In case if you are looking for any training program for yourself, feel free to reach out to our training partners. I'll share their contacts in the chat box. Feel free to reach out to them in case if you have any inquiry to do about these training programs. A special thanks to our official media partner, World Press Hub. They cover all our events and press releases. So let me quickly introduce you all to this truly exciting thing that GSTC has introduced earlier, GSTC AI Studio, where we are providing 100 plus AI sessions monthly, which is led by a global expert, where you'll be getting a lot of benefits. First is that 4 daily sessions will be provided, which is 45 minutes of impactful session led by global expert. You can directly get a chance to learn from our AI experts globally and real-time practice, where you can directly implement all the concepts that you have learned in that particular session, and your doubts will be resolved instantly. And this training is aligned with industry standards for job ready skills. So how you can access this? You can start your learning right away with 30 days free access, where we are providing 80 plus live session and full access to GSTC AI Studio. The next step that you can opt out for GSDC lifelong membership with $109, where you will be getting access, lifetime access, 80 plus live session each month, access to full GSDC Studio, free GSDC membership. You will be having access to all our physical events that we do conduct, and you will be having an access for LinkedIn Profile Improver, the utility tool that we have. I'll share the links in the chat box. And the third step that you can opt out for GSTC certification lifetime membership with $100, where this offer is only limited time period. So you'll be getting access for GSTC certification, all benefits of lifetime membership, personalized coaching, capstone project plus AI tools, GSTC Copilot, and assessment tool. This is so amazing. It is definitely going to help you a lot because GSTC AI Studio has a sessions on AI, as I said, which is led by global experts. So you can reach out to a learning advisor to get more information regarding this. I'll share the contact details in the chat box, so it will be convenience for you to reach out to them easily to have an inquiry about this. And as I mentioned earlier in my previous slide, we do have a 100 plus certification portfolio with us, which includes certification on learning and development, HR, Gen AI, agentic AI, emerging technologies, ISO auditor and implementer, project management and PMO, agile DevOps and SRE, cybersecurity, digital transformation, and so on. So in case if you are looking for any of the certification in order to upskill yourself or to stay industry relevant, feel free to reach out to a learning advisor, as these certifications are especially designed for all the professionals out there who wants to upskill themselves. And without any further delay, I would love to quickly introduce our today's speaker, Tony Prensa. He's a CEO and founder at TP Global Business Consulting LLC, and he'll be taking us through the topic that is from data to decisions using generative AI to predict and prevent project delays. So let me quickly tell you more about Tony. So as I mentioned, that he has 35 years of leadership experience in project management, digital transformation, and AI-driven business strategy. Dr. Troni helped organization turn strategy into execution and build high-performing PMOs that deliver real business value. He is a thought leader, author of the Digital Project Playbook, and a mentor to hundreds of professionals in PMP, Agile, and digital transformation. Dr. Prensa, especially in bridging technologies, leadership, and execution to drive measurable result and sustainable growth. We're very delighted to have you, Tony, for again at GSDC session. Thank you so much for joining. A warm welcome to you, and you can have the hander of the virtual mic now. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. So it's always a pleasure to work with GSDC and share a little bit of knowledge and experience in the field of project management, digital transformation, and also project management office. I'm currently, it's for me almost 6 a.m. I'm currently in Phoenix, Arizona for the Project Management Global Summit that is being run here. But I came here for workshops specifically in the topics of implementing strategic project management office. Okay, so let me start sharing my screen and we move from there. So this session is gonna be practical. So I'm gonna be doing some demos using some of the AI tools that I'm gonna use between Copilot and ChatGPT. So let me start sharing. Hold on a second. Hopefully, is everybody doing well? So I think in that part of the world is almost time to rest. So for me, it's starting the day. So everybody can see my screen? Everybody can see my screen? So the topic I have for you is about from data to decisions. We're going to leverage on generative AI, Gen AI. In this particular case, I'm gonna use some use cases to help us to predict and prevent project delays. That's something that any project managers, including executives, so nobody wants delays because I would say the most important parameter is the time because when time passes, you can recover. It's already done. but you can recover probably from scope slippage. You can recover from budget, so you need to have those difficult conversations with senior leadership that you need more money to deliver the project, but you can recover. But you can recover from time, because when time passes, it's already done. So you can go back on the past and recover from the time. So I'm gonna do some work through. So I created a case study, and that's the name of the company, Nova Pay. And so we are launching a specific products. We call it Pulse Pay. So that's gonna be the story behind what I'm gonna be discussing. So I'm gonna start with that quotes. I love quotes. As a professor and also researchers, I always writing. So I wrote my last book in digital playbook. It's a playbook for project managers looking for ideas, best practices, what worked for me, what didn't. There's a lot of checklist example. Um, because over the course, so I have a little more than 20 years. I have basically more than 4 decades working in the IT, information technology, um, and also project management for many years. I got my PMP certification in 1996. I have been a volunteer for Project Management Institute for almost 30 years. So this course is basically about things that happen in the real life. So we have beautiful Gantt chart uh, or dashboard to show how the project is going, to showing the health of projects back in the data, in the details, so the day-to-day activities of running a project. And so that this webinar, I would say a little workshop, is about how can you use those minor things that will tell you signal that the project heading in the wrong direction. So it's about using judgment, using the evidence from the day-to-day artifacts that you have in front for you every day, and how can you use generative AI to make sense of those data and make better decisions. Sometimes we think decisions are only made by executives, but everyone have the opportunity to make decisions and need data to back those decisions. So I already we talk about me. One things I would like to connect, so always like to connect with people from around the world. That's my QRs. You have any questions or anything related to that field of project management? So I'm always available to reports. I also post a lot of documentations and practices. I have 2 newsletters in LinkedIn, so you can also take a look to that. So about the sessions, so I was mentioning, so the project delays. So one thing that I always say to all project managers, that giving surprise to the senior leaderships or your management is something that you can prevent, because the projects, they don't get late like a week at a time or a month at a time. Projects get delayed uh, a minute, a second at a time. So when you show that your project is 2 weeks behind, so I'm gonna ask. So I have the opportunity to perform different leadership roles in multiple organizations around the globe. But always when somebody come to me, so we are 2 weeks delayed. So my first thought is. So what happened? What happened in day one? You didn't notice. What happened in day two? You didn't notice that the project was getting behind, so you didn't take any action. So projects get delayed day by day. So you should notice that, and you need to have signals of what's going on. So what I'm gonna be covering with you is I love frameworks. As researchers, I always look in different way of doing things. Frameworks for me. So the frameworks for these sessions is the signals, insight, actions. First, it's like when you go to the doctor, so we need to tell you vital signs, and then from there we decide we take some data and we do some insight, some thinking, and then what actions you're gonna take with the rationale, so all the information that you analyze. So using those early indicators about schedule read, dependency, even sentiment analysis that some people they miss that is important because we work with people and the way that we feel tells a lot about what's gonna happen about the behaviors of other people. Well, so I'm gonna show you running those prompts that I can get the sentiments of the participant or the stakeholders using the emails, using even tickets. So the three scenarios that I'm gonna be discussing. So it's data from those sources that you have available. In all projects have defect tracking, for example, all tickets to request different services. So you can take any of those data sources and analyze, and then you from there you can interpret that there is something is going wrong. So so the objectives is to work on the 6 early warning signals. So that we're gonna be looking. And this session we focus on schedule because it's project delays. Don't focus on other aspects of project management. But as I said, timing is for me is the most critical variable. So we pick on that. So there are other use cases for the other components of a project management, but this one is just for project scheduling. Um, so understanding the build a lightweight reference architecture connector using a large language model, Gen AI. I apply some governance or guardrails like data minimization, identify the personal identification information, some via checks, traceability, and we need to consider that we are humans, the human in the loop in everything that we do is important. So that's we're gonna go from there. So there's some quantify some outcomes, the accuracy of forecast, decision latency, and there are other things. It's not just about the tool. So Gen I won't do your work, so you still need to do your work. So all of those things are tools to help you to be more effective and efficient. So there's a lot of the informations around there, statistics that the job of a project manager is in danger because AI will replace project managers. I think anytime that I talk in any place, people ask, what do you think? AI will replace human? It's like anything else. Um, any new technology. So if you don't get used to that technology and you embrace the changes happen and the life is moving every day. So for those one that they don't know or they reject or resist the change, so those will be replaced by others that embrace technology and use AI as a companion for to be more efficient. Like you have an assistant with you to help you to be more effective. But the expert, like I says, for example, during those couple of days that I was delivering a workshop, so I was using also Gen AI to do some work for project management office. But I always say that it's irresponsible on your side if you just copy and paste what you get from AI and you don't do your job. So your job is to analyze the data and making sure that the information is correct. Um, so it's your job, it's no AI job to ensure that the insights that you're getting from the data are correct. You are the expert. AI is not the expert. That's for me, it's a simple tool. So I was software developer for many years. So it's algorithms. Algorithms are programs. A human did it. So uh, so you need to keep that in mind. I always like to talk about number to why we need to change or why we need to use this tool. It's not because Tony says that you should do this or not. There are numbers out there that it's important also to see what the industry uh, uh, understand and see what's the trending, what's happening. So why we need to change. So changes are important. So you can see there are some data that this organization, Wellington, that they publish some research-based information about the project management in the industry. They say only 34% organization complete projects on time, only 34% on budget. So that means that there is a big gap um, in that metric. So 34, so the remaining 66 percent. So they are in troubles. They are reporting delays. This statistic is not from one approach or the others. It's not for predictive projects or IR projects, for projects in general. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're using any approaches, Agile or waterfall. So another metrics that is important is the just 36% say project deliver full benefits. Being working for many years for different industry, sometimes we put a lot of effort in delivering a solution, but the solution probably people use, let's say 60% of all the capability, but you pay for 100% of that. It's like when you go out to restaurants and you order a delicious food, but you don't eat it all, so you eat it like a half. So the same in organization, they say that 36% of projects deliver the full benefits, the offering. And 45% claims that a strong success track records, only 45%, so 55% say no, we don't didn't get a strong success track record. Another interesting number is the 40%, 47% lack of real-time project KPIs. So in the world that we live, we want information right away. So we don't want to wait like we used to do in the past, that we reported like the past 30 days when we delivered our project status. So for that reason, that because you didn't have the real-time data and KPI that were checking why the car was running. So you checking the speed and all the things that we have in the dashboard in the car. But the same in the project. So project is running day by day. And in the past, we used to accumulate this information. Oh, now is the time to work on a project report. But a month already passed, and then you are reporting on the past. That's a lagging metrics. But lagging metrics, I don't have the chance to react, to do something, because it's already 30 days past the event. So the modern world requires real-time KPIs, information that give me the opportunity to act now, not from the information that happened months ago. So 50% spend more than one day or months compiling reports and data to report to management. So that was like a newspaper from a couple of days ago. So what you want to know, focus on what happening today. There is this organization they have been, as I remember, in the I think at the end of the 80s, 90s, Standish Group, they collect informations about IT project success. And I remember when I did my dissertation in project success, I used a lot of in research from Standish Group to back certain hypotheses that I had. So 31% of successful projects, that's how they reported at the time. And that might change because the definition of project success is changing. So all the information that we have now, including all AI, that help. So there's another metrics there. The 12 to 20% of the projects also report failures. I think this is the last metrics that I have. Cost overruns, large IT projects. I had experience working in the gigantic implementation, ERP, CRM, BI, business intelligence implementation, data warehouse, all of those kind of big endeavors. We always struggle with delivery. So you can see there, so 45% over budget, over time, 7% and 56% delivering of value. That's what I say, the requirements. So the company pay X amounts of money, but they don't get everything or they don't use it. So that's another problem. Okay. So if you have any question, please write it down in the chat so I can take a look. Okay, so why AI and why now? You see on the news and all the media, so big organizations are investing a lot of money, and now that is being translated into the normal business, not just the high-tech companies investing in AI, in the different flavors of AI. Is not just the generative AI, but you can see that prediction. So we are in 2025. So we are basically in this year, but the projection is that for the next 5 years, so the investment in AI will continue growing, and we're talking about big money on investment. So organizations are betting on AI to make the transformation in the world, so the way that we live and the way that we work. So AI is something that is here to stay. There's a lot of investment in these particular technologies, and it's impressive everything that you see every day. So you have one tool today, but tomorrow you have another one. It's like every day we have things changing. So predictability gap. So we have the beautiful dashboard, everything green. That's the information that we showed to the executives, but projects are late. So so why is that happening? So one thing says something, and we use colors to present information, but the same thing that I was telling before, we are using lagging indicator. Colors doesn't say the reality, the story behind the scene. And they summarize the past, know what's going on now and what's gonna happen tomorrow. So that's the thing, because if you use lagging metrics to measure the past, so you don't give the opportunity for management to take action. So early with signal high in nodes, tickets, email, chats, even social media. So we had data everywhere. So we say everything, our life, our behaviors, our how we are doing things. Data talks by itself. So sometimes we don't need to say things. If I analyze the data, I can infer what's happening, what's going on. So contradictions across systems, for example, in Jira, there is a ticketing tool. That is not, so if they hear me to say that there's not a ticket management tools. Jira is a complete system for automate basically the entire software development life cycle. And not only for software, some organizations use Jira for some different other work stream. But Jira, so I can see the item that says on track, but the emails in the opposite direction say that the items are blocked. And so those are earlier red flags that if you analyze and compare and contrast those different sources, so you can figure out what's going on. So decision latency approval. So again, so we can analyze emails, so we can analyze different sources and determine so if there's some decision latency and how will impacts the schedule. It's important data that we need to analyze. So there is a gap in the prediction. So the framework that I'm gonna be discussing, signals, determines what's going on. So take a look to what people are saying, what people are doing, and those actions are in the information that we share. Then the insights, so what you're gonna do, so you already know the things that's the best thing that AI can do for you, telling you the wisdom around the data, what the data are saying. but the action is the humans. You AI won't take any action for you. So let's say that a scenario. So Monday, the executives review. So they have dashboards game, no open blockers reported. On Wednesday, an email came around and said tokenization failed again for the test box, the bank sandbox. So workaround only. So security, they report that the test that they were doing was postponed. So the case study that I'm gonna talk to you is around banking. So PCI is a, regulation in banking to protect the personal information of the people on the account. On Friday, so the go or no go. So there's a delay for the general availability of the solution. So we're talking about a software development project by 2 weeks. That's too late. So everything was ready to deliver, but then we found there's some issues that we are not ready to deliver when we said we're gonna deliver. So it's a surprise for everyone. So why we wait to the last day when the launch is supposed to happen? So all of those things. So we have stake. So we have risk. So decision latency. So there was someone in the value chain that didn't take any action. There may be some hidden dependencies, last minute surprises that everything was in the chat or so today we have access to all the information but nobody checked on that, but the data was telling you something. Recycle or reward recycles, there probably moral issues that when the sentiment analysis is important because we work with humans. There may be some call out during that process. So a question for the audience, if you want, you can write it down in the chat. So which KPI is your organization least confidence in right now? So lead time is latency, reward, or accuracy. So we capture KPIs or metrics around those 4 factors related to lead time, related to latency. That's how much time you take to make a decision. Or is related to rework or accuracy. Those are basically the most important metrics. So let me share another document here. So you have more context of what is the Nova Pay is about. So that's that's the case study that I'm gonna be talking. So hold on a second. Let me see that. I thought that was the. So that's the case study that I'm using for doing the demo. This is the NovaPay is the bank. So we are working on let me see. I have the case study here. Hold on a second. They're gonna be jumping between document to navigate through the prompts that I created and the data set. So you will see the prompt running. So that's the detail of the case study that I'm using. There are some metrics about the situation that is going on in the bank. So what are the goal and the problems and the artifacts that we're going to be using to analyze the situation of this particular project, this implementation. So that's the idea. So I'm gonna be running case studies around those uh, premises and assumptions that we have in the project. So that's where, so you have an idea what I'm doing. Okay, let me go back to. So the scenario is that we had a GA, that general availability in 6 weeks. That's when the delivery, when we are developing solutions, software. So that's one question, where we're gonna be ready for, where we're gonna be ready to deliver to the user or the customers. And there's some panel sheets. Those are interfaces or integration that we are doing with those application. And there's some constraints, as I was talking about, PCI, that's compliance, and also everything. So I work in banking for many years, so we have a freeze, and usually the freeze in this case December 15th. But in some organizations, the freeze start, for example, here in the US with uh, before Thanksgiving, because the holidays and all transaction volume increase, so we don't want to do any changes that may jeopardize the stability of the systems to sell all the transaction volumes that we have. So we say Thanksgiving, that basically for us in a couple more weeks. So no changes was allowed to do in productions. So those are constraints that we need to take into consideration in every year implementation. So for this particular case studies, I said December, and also the compliance is PCI for that's a well-known regulation in financial sector, not only for banking, but any financial process. So they also take into consideration that. The timelines and constraints, and there's a sprint, so the 4 weeks, and we are in a sprint 10. And so as I said, the goal or no goal is planned for December 12th before the freeze start on December 15th. And there's some security threshold that we need to overcome. So let's work on the first deliverable. And the first artifact is that we're gonna take the meeting nodes, and from the meeting nodes, we're going to determine what's going on. So we're gonna analyze those meeting nodes and create some insight from the meeting nodes. So that's a summary of the data. So I have another file that I'm gonna use and run it in the, so I'm gonna use ChatGPT for that. So if I ask you to do it manually, so which early warning signal is the strongest in these nodes? So if I go back, you can see. So let's say that you have this information in front for you. For that particular project, tokenization failed again, and that tokenization is a process of security data encryption. The tokenization fails in the sandbox, and there's some retry. And there's the rewards calculation. Also, it has some issues in the threshold that was established, reward before the UATs. And also you have all of those nodes from a meeting. So the idea is blocker determine cross-team dependency, reward language, um, how the team feelings are around that particular meeting. So analyzing the sentiments, the sense of urgency, schedule, any constraint that you may have in the schedule, and also the stakeholder, how the stakeholder behave in that particular meeting. So I have the file, so I'm going to share hold on a second, I'm gonna share the chat. Uh, so the file, hold on a second, let me grab the file. So I have a file, so assume that you had that meeting. Now, if the meeting is visual, so you can capture um, those notes, and the same system they will send you an email with the analysis of the meeting. So that was the meeting minutes for that program. So what I'm gonna do, so I can insert the document, or I can just copy and paste my meeting notes into the element I'm gonna be using. That was the meeting note. So I can, yeah, can do it. So let's say I'm gonna copy and paste. Hold on a second. So as I mentioned, that JPT. So one thing that you can do, but I didn't do it for this demo, is like you can create your own custom chat, uh, your own custom chat GPT to do those kind of analysis, or you can just focus on the sentiment analysis, for example, or determining the quality of data. So I have many agents, but I didn't develop any for this one. So we're gonna do it. So let's say this is the data, and I'm gonna copy. So after that, I'm gonna copy the prompt also. So I already have the prompt. So the some situation that I have seen, the people they don't take the time to analyze. Prompts is like developing a code. As a software developer, I always uh, I always like to write first, do the analysis. Even yeah, when I was software developer, I used to do my flowchart. So all the decision point that I needed to take before I actually started developing the code. So for prompts, you need to take the time to analyze what you want and how you're going to make your narrative, to consider that you have in front of you the most knowledgeable person around any subject. So you need to be very specific what you want, and also you need to anticipate the output, how the output look like. So you need to create a narrative. So I have this prompt, I call it super prompt. So I'm telling AI to analyze the following meeting notes and provide a comprehensive risk intelligence report. Your output should include all those things. Number one, rank lists or early warning signal. For example, blocker, reward language, sentiment, scope, churned, stakeholder silence. In number two, it said identification any blocker older than 7 days, tagged by risk type. The number three, extractions, all the reward language. So you need to tell specifically what you want to see in the data set or the information that you have. In that example, it's very simple. So I have very simple, you can just check and see. But with AIs, it can go deeper and help you a little bit in determining things that maybe you can see. So that's very elaborated, um, prompt. So that's how I'm gonna run this one. That's a super prompt. So I'm gonna paste this prompt after the data. So let's see what, in this case, I'm using ChatGPT. I think that I have also copilots I can show you, but for the presentation, I think a Copilot for Microsoft does a better job. So sometimes, let me see if my computer don't get tired. So I start seeing some of the information uh, from AI is telling me according to my request to AI. So I asked for the early warning signals, and so you see, I didn't say the high impacts first, but AI helping me. So those are the highest impact items. So in that particular meeting note, if you check by yourself, probably you need to figure out what's going on and read specifically and puts your thoughts around that. But I get the information right there, so that's gonna help me to focus more. So it's in the number one, integration dependency risk. Uh, in those meeting notes, it found there's some contradictions because I asked, find if there's some contradictions in the data that I'm sharing with you. So it's evidence. The evidence for why AI telling me that it's a contradiction is because found that there was an item here. They said the tokenization handshake. Hold on a second. So one thing that to navigate sometime in the canvas doesn't allow me. So what I do is I copy and paste information in a Word and convert that in a PDF. But you can see there, so the evidence was telling me why you say that there is an integration dependency risk. So this is the evidence. So he found this is the statement because I asked AI to tell me the evidence. So where do you see it? So I can go back to the source, so the meeting minutes, and see, oh, yeah, there was one one statement like this one that said tokenization handshake fell again in the sandbox. But I'm gonna be more focused on the data that I'm providing and validate that. So in our case, we just, oh, this is it, and we're gonna take action based on what you get there. So you need to validate. So you need to take the source and check and see. So that makes sense or no. But and then in the second one, that's because I also asked for this. Um, there is some problem with the decision making. So you see the decision latency in the conversation around the schedule. So because I asked where do you find that? So it's telling me that the evidence that the PMO flag decision latency in the SDK rollout, that's a software development kit rollout. And it provides me the exact quotes when this information came from. But it's telling me, hey, open your eyes because there's some latency in the decision making that gonna impact your schedule when you're gonna deliver. So that's what I said. Those details that we need to be aware as a project manager, and making sure that we don't have those signals that we tell you something. If we don't act immediately, so we're gonna have an impact in the schedule. Another ask for AIs is about reward. Do you see any reward language? So here you say reward language and quality and stability. So again, the evidence in this document, if I go to the document, I'm gonna find that it says somebody said fail again. And that was written in the meeting notes. So rewards needed before UAT sign off. That was another point. So in this, that was very complete prompts. So for that reason, I'm getting all this information. Scope change and stakeholder conflicts. Also, I found there was a line where the marketing insists to referral frame must be in the version 1. In the software that we're developing, there's a functionality that they want to include from marketing that referral frame. And specifically, it's telling me what was said in that meeting. I also asked about capacity overload. So when you're testing a system, so you need to make sure that the system has the bandwidth during testing to see if it's gonna be enough for to support the implementation. Capacity overload, yeah, so it found also security team 120% loss. That's a real most organization because information security is centralized and they need to serve all the projects. Sometimes they don't have the bandwidth to support all the projects, and that will impact your scale. And that's something that I want to know from all the meetings. It's like you have a spy checking what everybody's saying. And those are signals for you to protect your scale. I also ask, tell me about how people are feeling the sentiment analysis, the sense of urgency. And they also one notes that say the critical, the GA, that's the deliveries of the solution, the general availability, is at risk if a sandbox is not stable by Friday. So when you do sentiment analysis for teams, it tells about the happiness of the people, and there are a lot of research around that. If you don't feel happy, so basically the analysis is sad, happy, or neutral. So you look for people to be engaged, motivated, and that's the sentiment analysis. But in this case, so the sentiment analysis is more about looking for negative things, triggers that or comments or that people say that you need to analyze that because that may impact the delivery. Another session of that prompt was around the blockers. And remember that I only had, so for example, I only had that meeting notes. I getting all this information, and that's for you, for the project manager to take some action. So those are all the signals and the insights. This is the insights from the meeting notes that I just provided to AI. So you can see there are blockers over 7 days, and we risk type. So ego specifically, okay, I found that Android 5 base SDK, that's the software development kit, is not merged. That's the code for that particular function is not merged. So the evidence, so I not only tell me the inside, also tell me the soul. Where you get that from? So it's telling me that there was a line in the meeting note that said approved last week, not yet merged due to whatever. In that case, regression failures. There was an issue in the testing. So that's a blocker, and that will impact your schedule. And the next one is the bank beef tokenization instabilities. They can make the tokenization engine to work. So because somebody said that, no, that's fair game. And then maybe that was a comment of someone on the team from that meeting. And you can see there where the information came from. Compliance evidence gap, that was another ask that I wrote in that prompt. And also I got, there was some issue related to compliance, and there's missing encryption rest evidence. So that may trigger a compliance section. So you can see all the information is well, this intelligence prompts process the data that you have and provide all the insight to protect the schedule. Again, so we are focusing on the schedule. So reward language, if there's any reward language that may impact the delivery for this project. So fair game, somebody said, so reward needed before regression testing failures. And you have a specific that you can go, and because you are the project manager, you know specifically what's going on with those components in the project. Sentiment and urgency highlights. So it's telling you a summary of what's going on with the information that you have. How you're going to use the information is on you, but you had insights from AI. So contradictions and misalignments, even that there's some contradictions. So you have vendor versus engineering. So there is a conflict between those stakeholders. The contradictions in the SDK status, reverse logic, dependency map. I also asked in the chat, so look at all the detail that I have. I didn't do that manually, so generative AI from the information that I provided gave me that. But I needed to write exactly. I need to write exactly what I want and the formats. So you see the work stream That's a component, that's a work package in your project on this particular case study. So it tells me who's the owner, what blockers and dependencies do we have for that particular work package, and what is the current risk, the evidence. So I just need to copy and paste. So you see here the symbols. I can copy that table into a Word document. I have all this information. That's analysis and that's a goal for to manage our project effectively. So for each item or each work package, I have this information. Even I got the severity, if it's a higher, so whether I need to focus more, I gonna focus on the one that are labeled as a higher, medium, or low. And even analyze if there are some conflicts, and nobody tells me that. The data telling me, so the data tells you the story. So stakeholder conflicts and the resolution path. So even telling you some idea how to resolve those conflicts. That's a resolution. And when you need to have that ready, some suggestion for when you need to complete that before you get a real impact in the schedule. I think that's so still I have more detail, the 3 next best action. So to get this the project back on track, what are based on AI, again, you need to validate. So those are the 3 best actions that you can take. Stabilize, testing. I remember when I was doing implementation, always the text boxes always have an issue, or I didn't have the data, or I didn't have the license, for example, to run tokenization. Tokenization is a independent component. So it tells you idea about that. So what about the A5 decision? So I'm gonna tell you what is a A5 decision brief is about, but it tells you about the context, tells you about different actions, options that you have, and recommendation. That's an expert telling you so what you need to ask. But again, so you need to validate because you're not gonna do everything with your closed eyes because AI says so. So the quality of the data is very important if you have the right data because it may infill, but you can also instruct generative AI. So don't make any assumption. If you don't see it, tell me that you don't have it instead of just trying to give you some information that may be hallucination. So, so I have a recommendation. So my advisor, the expert, is telling me, so this is the best course of action for you. The adopt option A, protects the general liability, the launch date, as telling me. So mitigate those risks. So any question? I didn't see any question or comments. So that's how you get, and that was the first case study. So it's a complete document. I just took the information from the meeting notes. So if you have those meeting notes, so you can take a lot of good information out of there. So let me continue. And that was for the artifact set 1. And sometimes you can create, so in that particular situation, I'm not using any custom JPT, but you can create the JPT and only load the information. So just analyze this document based on what you already know what to do. And you predetermine those Can we get the case study sample? I'm gonna be sharing this information with everyone at the end of the session. So I need to know how you're gonna get it. So, but yeah, so I'm gonna share it. Okay. Um, that was the queries I put it here, but that was the prompts that I used to do that kind of analysis. And that's a good idea to name Adobe. So you can take the same prompts and take any meeting minutes that you have and get all this information. That's gonna be a good practice. And okay, so let's say that we had Jira. So I taking Jira or Jaira. A lot of people they pronounce that differently, but I say Jaira. You can use information from any other source that you have. You don't use Jaira, you use something else. So you can take all those tickets, and those tickets were reported in the system. So I just make a query, for example, from those tickets in my project. Now, okay, let me see what AI can tell me about the information that I have in the system. Okay, so I'm gonna run again. That was for the email. So I'm gonna find this document. Let me check here. So I have another document for the tickets. So let's say or maybe you have that in an Excel spreadsheet. You don't have a system like Jira or any something else. So as those are the tickets, so that I just gonna copy these tickets, and that's the suggested prompts that I wrote. So I'm gonna copy the file. And the file can be, so you can attach a file. So if I come here, I can attach a file on my directories, and you say, okay, my ticket are in this particular file, and you can attach it. Now, the chat GPT or whatever you use, so that I'm just telling, so let me make a difference. I'm gonna use Copilot. So you have a different idea. So Copilot, I copy. So it's not formatted like you have it in Excel spreadsheet with all the columns. So it doesn't matter. So AI gonna figure out. So I'm going to remove that line because I don't need to add that label. So I'm gonna put that. So it's reading the information. It recognizes who I am because that's my personal advisor. I is still thinking, but I didn't say anything. I placed the information into the memory of the ChatGPT or the Copilot in this case. So I'm gonna go back to the document. And then I'm going to copy my prompts. So in these prompts, I say, analyze the following Jira tickets and generate risk intelligence summaries. And your outputs should look like, again, so I specify exactly what I want. So analyze. I can give you a little more information about who you are. So to tell, so you are the expert or in this particular type of projects. You can give up more. The most that you define the persona, so who you have in front of you. It's like I need help from an system architect. And then you need to describe the system architects and the behavior, experience, skills, and the AI will do better job if you do that. But in this case, I just gonna keep it simple. So that is the prompts I'm gonna come back to. So he already read and had the information in memory. So I just place the information in there. So reading my instruction. So this is Copilot from Microsoft. It's different from ChatGPT. I use like 4. That you don't need to do that. So you need to marry with one particular program. Because but I use because I do different things. But you need to figure out which one works better for you for the context. And in this case, let me go here. So I like that. So you saw in the previous one that I didn't have the tables. I think sometimes when I want to see some fancy table, I prefer to use Copilot instead of ChatGPT. So you can see there. So that was a table because I asked in the prompt to do that. So you have the ticket number, the age, because I asked, tell me, out of probably you, in my example, I only have probably 10 lines, but you may have a file with 1,000 lines. So it's a lot of information to process. So you want to know, tell me exactly in those tickets, what tickets are over 5 days. And then, so in my data set, only found those two with a 9-day, 12-day. And I also asked for, give me the information about those, the title, and what kind of risk type is a vendor, is a schedule, is a performance. And those are the insights. So you're not only providing me the table formatted in that order, but also it's telling me the insight. For example, both blockers see the 7-day threshold indicating stalled resolution. Nobody had taken any action for those items. So it's telling me a little bit about the 2312 involves external integration, introducing vendor dependency. The 2177 breached the SLA. So I had an SLA established. So that one has an SLA impacting customer experience and contractual obligation. That's a big words because you have contractual obligation that you not meeting in the projects. So it's not only for, and the title of this section is more for project delay, but all other risk. So highlight those risks that you need to take actions. Reward indicator on resolve discrepancy from the tickets that are in the system. You can see all the great information that you get to make assertive decisions in your projects. So again, from the tickets, it took off information from the 2291. That's a QA flag. It tells you a little bit of metrics, the indicators, the 2.3 variation in reward calculation. and then the insight. Okay, this is the data that you got from the tickets and telling me what tickets have those incidents. And maybe you need to go into more detail because it doesn't have all the detail that you usually have because in Jira you have a lot of information, but probably I'm gonna go and study those specific tickets in the system to making sure that those insights are valid and you put your human in the loop. That's I want to say you can those are help. It's a great tool. It will save a lot of time, but you need to be in the loop and you are the expert, no AI. So you're not gonna take everything for granted. And you can see all the inside, but that's a great information that I can analyze a little bit and making sure that this is real before you take any action. Cross-team dependency, how that going to impact the delivery. So scheduling is about delivery when the promises that you have made. All the dependency, integration team, platform team, Android development team, compliance team. So this project is in a big problem. So we have a lot of dependency. And those are the tickets that came from those particular team and that what is the delivery risk. For example, the SSL, the security socket logic failures, the delay, the problem with the tokenization is because that component, the socket security layers fail. Is there is a little bit of information where you are not the expert, but you have the information to have those conversations with the technicals. So you need to know exactly why we having that issue with the security box. So I'm not gonna go into all the detail, but that's a kind of information that you have to analyze this situation, and also the give you the insight from the AI perspective. Delivery is a bottleneck by coordination. So I have another question here. How do you manage AI in giving ongoing prompts as you monitor implements, inputs, doing inputs, the changes? Yeah, so I understand what you say. Uh, in this case, it's like I'm triggered the analysis with the data that I have. But you can do agents, but that require a little more technical expertise that you need to know how to develop Python codes and create some agentic AI. So it's not exactly generative AI, but you need to have the technical expertise. So as I was telling yesterday to the group of people, they are PMO managers, the idea is that you uh, think about possibilities, opportunities, use cases. So start doing those brainstorming, and you need to find someone that can do it. You have the idea, and with AI, we can do everything. So with technology, is when I used to be a software developer, we can do anything because if you telling me what you envisioning, I gonna understand the requirements. I gonna make it happen. So. So you can develop agents that they just gonna do, or even a machine learning component, but you need to understand the language and you need to be a software developer, I would say, an integrator. But if you have the idea, so this I want this information, take the information online real time from the email system, from Outlook, for Gmail, read the data file from the ticket system, uh, and give me this information. That's what I want to do. So we can create like an agent to do that, and taking all those sources, use the generative AI to do all the analysis and the narrative, and that could be automated. So those are workflow that you can automate. And that you have, it's like, for example, I can create, and there are some agents around there that you can create. For example, today we are overloaded with information from everywhere. But imagine that you have an agent that go into those newspaper or the social media and check all the headline and just summarize, tell me if there's some risk. For example, now in the US, so we have the government is closed. Strange thing. So there's an issue in the airport because the airport workers, they are they work for the federal government. So the government is closed. The people, they don't get paid, and the government has today is like the 38 days close. But if I have an agent that I just sitting there, tell me what's going on around the world, tell me if I am at risk, what I need to do. So that's a great information. So I don't need to go and explore all the sources and read in that headline or go into the newspaper. So data is there, but we only need to discover and think about what use cases are possible. So this was the result from the analysis. That when we talk about the decision brief, you're gonna take the context and you took that, what options, recommendation, and risks. That the 5A decision brief take those five components: context, options, recommendation, risk. Okay, and still, you can see that happen in any LLM tool. So you can continue the conversation. So now we have a session that probably that was that I discovered from the data. But you see that would you like this formatted into a workshop, or let's say that I need to do a presentation for my management. So you can continue the conversation and create it. Yes, I want to create a PowerPoint presentation from there so I can present this executive summary to my management. And it have another thing here. I can also simulate a delivery analyst prompt to test contradiction detection or insight prioritization. If I say yes, it will continue doing. So I'm gonna do it just for fun. If I say yes, do it. We continue doing more stuff around the information that I already have, and if it is something that is gonna add some value for you, so and you can ask. So tell me, for example, I can say, tell me what I need to do. I need to do with this. Let me say for these insights. Let's say you are playing ignorance, and you say, tell me everything. So you already have all the information. And look at that. So it's telling you, so transform insight into actionable workshop. So it's telling you a lot of information. But again, you need to be careful about hallucination. Build a risk intelligent dashboard. So you can build a dashboard from there. And even I can tell, okay, I want to analyze this in Excel. I want to create some graphic. I can say, create the code in Visual Basic VBA. That's the code. So you don't need to be an expert in Excel to create macros. So you can ask AI to do it. So if I say create heat map, no, I would say create um, Visual Basic code to develop, let's say, a heat map of, let's say, of the findings, and it will create the code for you, and then you only need to copy and paste the information. So look at that. He knows how to do everything. The only thing that I need to do is to copy and then open Excel. Well, that's another use case. Excel, and you're gonna press F11 to create a macro into Excel, and press F8 to execute it, and then you're gonna have a heat map. So that's all the possibility that you have, the integration. Look at that. So it tells me how to use it. So you don't need to be an expert in Excel. It tells you how to use it. I'm using Excel, but maybe if you have other tools like Smart Sheets or Power BI, so you can add for a specific, create a XML file, all those kinds of things. It depends how technical are you, but you have those possibilities. Okay. Okay, let me go into my presentation again. So the other case study is around email. So we have meeting notes, we have tickets, and those are the day-to-day any projects. So you track those things in different sources. And so the exercise is about email thread. So I copy and paste all those emails. If you don't have the agent, but as I said, you can develop a agent that is a more sophisticated development, and that take all the email and filter those emails sent by this group or by these people and do it. But in this case, I just have a file. Let me go back to the presentation. So I need to check how I'm doing on time. So. Hold on a second. So what do you like more? So I'm gonna go back to ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is my friend. So I'm gonna take another file, and that file is named meeting notes. Hold on a second. Let me see. AI for delivery. I call it email test.
Hello, Dr. Tony. I'm
Yeah.
extremely sorry to interrupt you, but we
Yeah.
need to wrap up the session as we have another session scheduled after 25
Oh,
minutes. So, yeah.
okay. So, okay. Well, perfect. So what I want to show you is basically the same, is taking the data, place it into the LLM that you want to use, any, and it will tell you, analyze against what you want to know about the email. So maybe I want to know about the sentiments or the negative language that being used on those emails, and or risks that you can check from the data and highlight those risks. And that's basically So how can you use generative AI to help you to determine potential risks to delay your projects and have some insights about how can you resolve those issues before they happen. So that basically it is. I don't know if you have time for questions, Britain. Somebody asked Britain if they can have access, so I can give you to you. So I don't know how can you make it available to the attendees.
Okay, for that case, please do write to me over my email, preetam@gsdcouncil.org, and I'll make sure that I'll be sharing the case studies with you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so it's all yours, Pritam. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope that you have some ideas on practice and use those use cases. I start small, start analyzing emails, for example, and start looking those kind of information in those emails that they're gonna help you. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for attending.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Tony, for amazing session and case studies. I believe that is definitely going to help all the participants. And thank you everyone for your attention. And I do have some quick announcement for all of you. So before I could start sharing my screen, we would love to hear final thoughts from you, Tony, in case if you want to share to all our participants.
Yeah, so what I would say, AI is here to stay. So we need to embrace it to be better human, better professional, and there's a, a lot of opportunity to leverage on technologies and data to help us to be more effective, more efficient, and to add more value to the organization that is key in the world that we live. So don't reject AI, use it as a friend, as a companion. So you have seen that you can do incredible things that you never thought that you can do it. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Tony. We'll definitely reaching out to you again for another session. And it seems like you have a lot of information to share about it. So we'll definitely see if we have any other slot for your session. Thank you so much. And
Well, thank you, everyone.
later. So I do have some great announcements. So this is regarding today's certification that we had a session on. So you can use this promo code, which is Gen AI Pro 20 to get an amazing discount, which is 20% off on their certification. You can go for certified generative AI in project management. As you all must be aware that whatever the certification GSDC provides, it is globally recognized ones, and you'll be getting learning resources with that, where you'll be getting a lot of case studies to work on, e-learnings and book of knowledge. The certifications are lifelong learnings, which gives you learning flexibility as well, and you'll be getting chance to connect with our training partner channel, and you'll be having a lot of opportunity to work on capstone project. So that is something real-time AI simulation practice. So do check this out and use this code to get discount. This discount is valid only this weekend. So grab this opportunity before it gets in. And let me quickly introduce to utility tool. This tool will help you to improve your LinkedIn profile score, your AI skill score, and it will help you to build your personal brand. And also it will help you to build your AI generated resume. So check this out. This is completely free for our webinar attendees. And we are running this webinar on ISO 42001 and ISO 27001 across industry. We have amazing panel of speakers aligned for this. This is started from 3rd November to 21st November with a time slot that is 8:30 a.m. Central, 10:30 p.m. Singapore time, and 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Also, we are running another series on real world L&D case studies across industry, and we have experts aligned for this as well. ISO and L&D, these two series are running simultaneously with the same time slot and scheduled from the same dates, 3rd November to 21st November. So do join us for all the remaining sessions, or you can refer your friends and colleagues. also. And you all must be aware that we are running this another series on AI tool, AI implementation series, where we have AI experts aligned for this, as they're giving us a live demo sessions with practical walkthroughs. So do join us for this session as well. And we do have these three winners who have referred maximum people. I'll be announcing all the final winners tomorrow at the end of this series. And we'll be definitely getting back to them for the rewards, which is worth $400. So do refer maximum
Oh,
people to our upcoming session and be a winner, as top three winners will be featured on the GSDC Wall of Fame. I would like to quickly show you all. I know we are running out of time, but I would love to quickly show you all where you can access and where you can see how many points that you have earned so far by referring people. You just have to go to our website and just quickly check our event web page. And if you see, this is our speaker aligned for this series. And if you scroll down a little bit, you will see the details, and the exact under the leaderboard legends, there's a search bar. Here you can search your name and see how many points that you have earned. So there's one rule that you have to earn at least 30 points, sorry, 50 points or more than 50 points to be winner. All right. So unfortunately, our winners did not reach 50, and hence we won't be able to go back to them. But still, we'll check all the points tomorrow, and then we'll be announcing all the final winners. So referring people to sessions like this, it is something that you're taking step ahead and becoming thoughtful leader. So refer people for our session, for our upcoming events, and you will be the winner, and you'll be getting a rewards which is $400. Going back to the main screen, here we are. In case if you want to be speaker for our upcoming events as a featured global speaker, as you all know that we do have a platform, global platform like Learning Capsule, webinar, and podcast. So feel free to reach out to us. You can write to me directly. You can share your speaker profile, and I'll make sure that I'll get this reviewed and we'll get back to you. And we would love to connect with you all over social media. Scan this QR to connect with us over LinkedIn. Check our website for more information and all the offerings that GSTC has for all of you. And connect with us over the WhatsApp group to get daily update on events, webinar, and boot camps. And please do share your valuable feedback on Trustpilot. You'll find the link in the chat box. And thank you so much for joining today's session and supporting us throughout the week. I hope to see you all for the upcoming sessions. Until then, keep learning and take care of yourself. Thank you so much, Dr. Tony. I'll see you again. Bye,
yeah,
everyone.
thank you, Ethan. It was a pleasure.